Thank you for joining us on the RP Experience. I'm your host, Andrew Regenhart, and today we have a special podcast. We got two guests, and we're excited, Joelle Masterson and Anna Brooks, and they're actually with the Epic Agency. And so we wanted to take some time to get both of them on here. We're going to be collaborating on a social media marketing strategy for real estate professionals. So it's anyone in real estate. And it's going to be a workshop. So it's not just going to be a little seminar where you sit there and you absorb some stuff, but you pretty much forget everything. You're actually interactive. You're working through things. You're coming up with a strategy, a plan with your social media. So it's going to be interactive and it's going to be a workshop. And so we're going to talk about that today. We're going to introduce who our guests are today, talk a little bit about what they've done and their journeys so far in the social media realm, and then what to be expected with this workshop. So we're pumped. Welcome, ladies.
Thanks for having us. We're so excited.
I'm excited to have you guys on here. So first of all, who are you guys? Tell the listeners a little bit about who you are and your experience and what you've done so far within the social media realm.
Well, I'm Joelle, one half of the Epic Agency. I guess you could say I'm your ultimate mompreneur. First things first, I am a mom to a stunning little 4-year-old. She's the light of my life. And we live in Franklin, Tennessee, which is right outside of Nashville. So I've really built my brand around the small community there and the growth that's happening around Nashville. And so I'm a creator. And then obviously we have the Epic Agency. I am a real estate agent myself, so I have a full understanding of what goes into the behind the scenes and the hard work of that.
It's important.
It is so important to really have that understanding. And I'm just a huge believer in that you can have it all. You put yourself out there. I'm probably I'll shake anybody's hand. I'll talk to you. I want to know who you are. Yeah. How can we network? How can we build together? And it's just really important to me that I'm a mom, but I'm also my own self.
Right.
And that I'm being that example to my daughter that you can go out there and crush it and build your dreams.
Yeah.
So she's really my motivation behind everything. Obviously my husband too, but I love him too. But my daughter is just the light of my life.
I saw that funny video. It was I love you. But then once a kid comes into play, so I will
yeah.
Who was it? It was the famous actor, and he's like, I would throw you in front. I would have took a bullet for you, but now after the little kid, I will throw you as a human shield. And it was
true.
Damn.
I know it's so true, but I know he feels the same way. So it's a mutual respect there.
Too funny.
So I'm just excited to be here. I'm excited about what we can bring.
Yeah. Pumped.
And I'm Anna Brooks, so I'm the other half of the Epic Agency. So I'm also a creator. So that's really how we met and how we started and got our background in social media is our own personal websites, brands, Instagram. We've been on Instagram for over 6 years. So we've ridden the waves of all of the changes in the algorithm. So I mainly share, fashion content, lifestyle, travel guides, all of that. And that's how, I had a background in Dell and corporate business, and I was in the corporate America. Never liked it. It was what am I doing here?
Yeah, a little dry.
It was so pointless. I didn't feel like I did anything valuable. I was I don't. And that was what I grew up knowing. You go to school, you get a job.
Right.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And I had to break that cycle.
Yep. But that's what we were trained, right? That's what we were taught. Hit your KPIs, but it's that's boring.
So boring.
So boring.
You gotta go out and build your life.
So that's why I started the blog, and building my own brand on the side, because I was I don't want to do this. I don't want to work for somebody else. So I did both for almost 3 years. I think I was managing both and basically not working corporate, but attempting, doing the bare minimum because it didn't matter.
Right.
And COVID hits or whatever, and
you went in full board?
Quit and was able to do this. But in addition to just content creation, that wasn't enough for me. I think that's how Joelle and I bonded, is the business experience and wanting to help other people. A lot of my content in the beginning was how to help other people also become an influencer or a content creator. I would give free tips, free blog posts, how I started, sharing my journey, sharing how much I make, being transparent, because that wasn't something the industry would see of what's the background work of doing this, because it doesn't actually look like work. So beginning to share that journey, transformed into creating our company, the Epic Agency.
I love it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do a plug here. Like when we started talking about this workshop that you guys offered, it was just about a give. Like you guys are in Tennessee, you guys have done this for other agents. We got connected with a mutual friend, and you know, you guys were just like, hey, we want to put this on for realtors. Like we had great success and people really enjoyed it. They got a lot of value and they grew a lot from it. And that was the main objective from both of these ladies. And so it's just kind of cool to see how it's all coming together, and we're able to help real producers and the community from real producers, but also help you guys and shed the information, because that's obviously what you've been doing since the get-go, is providing useful tips, tricks, knowledge, systems, strategies, whatever it might be. So we're excited.
Yeah, I definitely think that's where it all kind of stemmed from, because we were working with small businesses anyways. We're small business ourselves. And then you just realize like, wow, these people really need more help and we have the knowledge. So we kind of just created this brand, and it's been so amazing because you're watching the tools you give other people and them excel and build, and it's really fulfilling, actually.
That's awesome.
It's amazing. Yeah.
And I think it's really transformed naturally. You know, the business, like we didn't set out like we need to build a business. It was things we were already doing naturally, and we were like, why don't we formalize this?
Yeah.
And that's, you know, and that's the whole goal, is helping. And that's what we set. I think you had asked us yesterday in one of our first meetings, you said, like, what's your end goal here? Like, what do you want? Like, what are you trying to get? And it's like, we're not trying to get, we're just trying to give. And we think these people need help. And that's what we're here to do, is share.
Yeah. Well, I love it. So let's dive into that. Like, you know, they have the Epic Agency, but they're both influencers, and they both run very successful. You would say a lot of followers, you know, to people that maybe don't know what influencer are. They have brand agreements and different things like that. And they get a lot of engagement and stuff. And that's what, let's be real here, all realtors should be doing, right? They should be marketing, should be branding themselves. They should have a big audience, right? The biggest thing with real estate is, you know, and you learn this probably right away, is like reach out to your sphere.
Yeah.
Well, if you have
Your
a
network.
huge, if you have a huge sphere on social media, then well, perfect, right? Like,
Right.
so
It's just another way to expand your network. Like
Right.
that's the whole goal. You know, it's all based off of who you know, and you can reach so much more people online that you never even had to meet in person, and they can connect with you.
yeah,
And it's about, what we teach you is how to connect. I
right.
think a lot of people get really nervous about putting themselves out there,
Oh, for sure.
but we teach you really the confidence to create. That's the
Right.
whole workshop, right? So I think that's really important. And I think people get so nervous to just put themselves out there fully, but people want to see what you're doing.
Right.
And so that's really how we've built, you know?
It's being more personable.
Right.
That's
And
the whole
being
thing.
real. Right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we made jokes yesterday and we talked about some different things, but it's like, you know, people put the diagrams and the different things like that. And it's like, anyone can search that on the internet and different
yeah.
things like that. Like, they want to see what you're doing. They want to see what this person's doing or this. Like, that's what they're coming to social media for. They're not coming for a graph. You know what I
No,
mean?
Right.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to see perfection either. Show them the real deal, you know? I've showed, I'm out in like heels and I'm like, I wore the wrong shoes showing this house. I should have been in like, you know, some rain boots. People like to see
Yeah.
that difference.
Okay. My saying is posted, not perfect.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you know, 7 years ago, I was listening to a marketing individual and Andy and the Wealthy Way podcast, and he even said he had a person on there, and it's like, and 7 years ago, everything needed to be perfect. Like if you put an ad out there or you put anything out there, it had to be perfect. You know, professional grade, not scripted, everything perfect. Now, if you put that out there, people turn it off because they don't want that. They want the authentic, you know, authenticity. You know, like I just screwed up there. Like they know that I didn't script that, right? Like you know, so it's like those kind of things that's what they want now. I mean, look at the most successful ads that people are putting out there. It's literally a selfie video.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Healthy.
So.
Yep.
So let's talk about the workshop for a second here. What is it? Why are we doing it? And all that good stuff. So like these two are experts. All right, everyone. These two are experts on how to grow a sphere, right? So grow natural, organic followers, right? People that you want on your platform to engage with you. Let's say comedy, different things like that, resharing, those kind of things, and potentially new sales, right? So engaging followers, And and it's all related around real estate, right? So it's then what to post, it's strategies, it's different things like that. So can you guys give a little understanding? I mean, we'll go in like details of timeline, dates, all that kind of stuff in a little bit. But like you guys are the experts. I got just a snippet of your work, the workbook and everything that people were even engaging with and whatnot. But give an overview of some of the big topics that would be discussed.
Yes.
So first up, I would say a lot of people ask us, well, why is social media important? Like, why do I have to do that? And I think that it's very underrated.
And especially if they're already successful. They're like, why do I need this?
And it's
I
like,
already get leads.
Yeah, don't you want to tap into that extra market? Who doesn't want those organic sales? And I think it's also just about building your brand online. So essentially what we do is we teach you how to strategize properly and not be fake. Like we're going to teach you how to show up every day to your audience to build an organic, authentic connection that are going to drive results.
Yes. So we've got a system laid out for you. And I guess we can divide the workshop into 3 parts. Part 1 is your social media brand and building your brand and actually making your profile attractive to attract the type of clients that you want and building that type of community together. That's the most important aspect. Part 2 is going to be your actual content strategy. And I think this is where people struggle the most. This is the meat of our content of how to actually create content people want to see. We've got a system of how to create your content pillars, how to actually brainstorm ideas, how to make it come easier to you instead of you just sitting there like, what should I post today? Or I'm going to do this. We're going to help you and give kind of a formula and different ways to create content that's going to be actually beneficial to your audience to create and generate that community sales leads.
The biggest thing too is that we teach you how to plan. There's a lot that goes into the back end, which we understand because it's our job, right? So we're creators. We have also built this, but we also work with some of the biggest creators out there. We manage them. So we've taken all of our knowledge and put it into this workshop.
Yep, and you'll get a workbook.
Yeah.
So in the workbook, it shows, we're walking you through and creating these ideas with you. So you actually get to pick our brains. We're not just going to be like, oh, listen to us for this hour, take your notes, and then you leave. You're actually going to be leaving with a content calendar, content ideas to go execute with our expert advice.
Right. And we study those algorithms. We know how to show you where the trending music is. You're going to walk out. You're going to be knowledgeable. You will be knowledgeable when you walk out of our course. Okay.
So then part 3. I said
hold on. Let's step back. So for that first part, though, I think one of the biggest things from a real estate style, like they could go into a brokerage and they just say, all right, you can go sell now. And most people don't know how to sell, right? They usually jump on a team. They usually jump on something so that they can learn. That's what this is, right? Like everyone says they want to go create, but they don't know where to start. They don't know the start. So that's what, from a standpoint of like, if you're a realtor and you want to learn, or a real estate professional, mortgage, different people like that, like growing your brand, like this is how you get started. Like these are the first few steps.
Yes. And we're going to ask you those questions. Who's your target audience? Who are you talking to? And when you ask when we ask yourself those questions, it's going to start clicking and the dots are going to be there where you're going to be like, okay, this is what this type of person wants to be. You just have to talk to your ideal client, and we're teaching you how to do that online.
And I think too, what's great about our course is you could be a beginner agent and you could be a real producer, right? So we have a prime example. We've had real producer who's on the cover, take our course up in Nashville, take our course, and she's our superstar. Her what has happened on her social media, she has a team underneath her too. So, we're teach her team, and it's working. She's getting the results, a return on her investment.
For sure. I mean, it's, and we'll get into the details, but it's like they get one deal from social media, the time and effort, not just like course amount, but like the time and effort that they put in. Cause it's not easy, right? They do have to create it. You come up with schedules. When they start doing that, it's going to start flowing where they're going to get like leads from it. Someone buys a property. Well, it's really going to prove, exponentially in the green in the sense. I do want to state something too. She had mentioned, Anna mentioned that, we're going to help you. We're going to come around. Okay, this is not a 400 person thing, right? Yeah. This is max we're allowing in the room is 30 people. So it is very, very small. And once the tickets are sold, it's done. And you had mentioned real producers or a new agent. this isn't only for real producers. We're collaborating. We're going to help, from our standpoint locally and different things from real producers, but it's not an exclusivity thing where only top 500 can come. So if you are a new agent and you want to invest in yourself, for sure, you should do it. But if you're a top agent and you want to invest in yourself so that, the young guns, the young bucks that are up and coming and that are crushing the social media, and you want to get on top of it and get ahead, then you can as well. And then the third thing, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I want people to know that it's not exclusive there, and
I
people
love
can.
No, and we have a fun fact too. Average person spends 53 minutes scrolling on Instagram.
Oh my gosh.
So tap into that 53 minutes
So
you
should
could
be
get
in
the
their
sale.
feed.
Yeah.
53 minutes.
Yeah.
I feel like majority is probably way more than that. You know that thing
Probably.
where Apple says like screen time now?
Oh,
That's
it's
disgusting.
embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
I'm like, oh my God.
I'm like, what?
I get
did
excited
what?
though when they say like, "Oh, your screen report was down
Lower.
48%." I was like, "No way!"
Yeah. I'm like, I was off my phone.
Oh my gosh.
So-
it's crazy how much business you do on your phone,
Oh,
right?
for sure. And there's so much business still to be made. I mean, look at the AI stuff and the different things. Like technology is not going away. And if you are naive to the point of like saying, okay, well, it's a fad or whatever like that, and I'm just going to ignore it, I'm going to stick to my ways, you will be beaten by technology because it's faster, more efficient, and it's reaching more people. Right. So, and it's a free platform.
It's a free platform.
This is
Listen,
a free way to get leads.
I'm going to tell you about myself a little bit because I am not your typical agent who's like a really big go-getter in that world. I am more into my influencing and building the Epic agency, but I have it because I have a passion for love and homes and interior design and helping. And I know that it's something I like to do. So my leads have come from my Instagram, and I hardly touch on that topic, and they've been over $1 million since. So when you think about that, and I am not even pushing with what I'm telling you to do,
Right.
I've just touched on it.
Right. You're
So
just dabbling in it, and it's
Yeah.
like
You just mentioned you're a real estate agent, and people are already connected
To
to you because
me.
they like you as a person.
Right.
The know, like, trust system. It's like that's your goal on social media is having somebody get to know you so they trust you and they want to use you when the time comes.
Yeah.
right. And it's top of
That's it.
mind too, so that when you said the time comes, that you're in front of the person, right? If you only post once a month and then 3 weeks into the month, they're ready to sell or buy or sell a property and you didn't post and they forgot about you, well, sorry. They're probably going to use someone else that they just recently interacted with.
Right.
But if you were posting all the time and they're always like, wow, like great information,
Yeah.
the day that they're ready and you post in the morning about great information, they're going to be like, hey, by the way, I'm looking at doing something. Be like, sweet, boom, done.
Yep.
But because, you're not saying consistent stuff, you might lose that opportunity. So
What's our third part? Did you
Okay.
touch the
third part, sorry, we're
Okay.
passionate, obviously.
I
So we're all
know.
excited.
Third part is real strategy. So I feel, we really do focus on Instagram as the primary, social media to use. You can repost and use everything on Facebook as well. It's really the Instagram is where a lot of, if you looked at the stats, millennials, 52% of them are looking to buy a home, and that's the primary demographic on Instagram. So if you're looking at the new people buying home, like that's kind of who you're
Who you
trying to
wanna
target.
Mm-hmm.
So Instagram is really the platform to go right now. There's TikTok and stuff, but that's, you don't have to go to every single platform. Like you don't have to spread yourself thin. You can focus on one platform that you're really good at and do that.
And it's so easy because you could take the content we teach you anyways and just pop it over to TikTok so
Right.
you could see that growth there. But that's not really the demographic who's buying a home right now. It's Instagram.
And I feel like TikTok is more of a, let's say, a pleasure app where you're just sitting mindfully, just like, or mindlessly, just like, nah, that's funny. That's
Yeah.
stupid.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't even have it. Like, I don't use it. But like Instagram, there's a lot of information.
Valuable
I
information.
follow some amazing content, like, if it's business, if it's, strategy, wealth, different things like that, where like, I guess TikTok has it, but like
It's harder to
Instagram
find.
is in the mentality world, like already, I think, light years ahead.
Yes. So that's why we focus part 3 on real strategy specifically, because that's where you're going to see our growth, especially I know in the beginning or when you're trying to build your brand. And that's normally, everybody who's at our course, that's their goal. They're trying to build their brand. They are kind of in the beginner world. They're trying to get more consistent and more confident to post on Instagram. So we're going to teach you all about the algorithm, how to find trending audio, what audio to use, how long the video should be, what to film, what to focus on, how to write a catchy headline, what video editing apps to use. So we go into
Really into
in-depth,
detail.
and you'll have all of these notes afterwards. We're going to help you, download the app with you, kind of show you some of the tips and tricks on how to edit yourself. So it really is a learning workshop. It's not just we're talking to you to sell you something.
Right. It's not one of those classes you walk away from and you're like, oh my gosh, like by the end of the class, we're going to have a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, we are getting to know you. We want to know who your brand is. You're going to get to know us. And again, it all comes down to that relationship that then builds. You can email us and be like, hey, what's going on? Like,
Right.
and we're going to respond. It's going to be us personally who do that.
And I think that's something that people, there's so many online courses, there's so many
Yes.
different things like that. Like this is an in-person here in Naples, and it's very interactive. Like they are going to show you, like I guarantee we lost people when you said trending audios, and they're going to be like, what's that? Right?
They
Like,
don't even
but they're
know.
going to explain it, you guys. Like they are the experts of like going through it. They're going to say this is how you do it. This is why you do it. Do this over this, right? Because there's going to be so many like shiny, let's say, objects of like, oh, we should do this and this. Like these are the things that work, right? They have the accounts that they manage with 4 or 5 million, whatever people, followers. They manage them. So they know it works. So just stick to that. So they keep mentioning on it, but I want you guys all to understand that it's an interactive workbook. It's not just a piece of paper that you're taking some notes. Like they've taken the time to design the workbook with information already in it. Then you can fill out your pertinent stuff that applies directly to you. And I think that's something that's going to set this workshop apart from a lot of other ones, is that they're like, for example, there'll be like top 3 or this and that, and there'll be all these different examples of what you can do. And then it's like, what are you going to choose? Are you going to choose? Are you going to take the things that they've already provided in there? Or are you coming up with something different? But it's like, these are the strategies that you're going to actually implement and stuff like that. And I think that's going to be the biggest thing, that you guys are actually, as the recipients of the workshop, be able to take the knowledge from these 2 individuals' brains and apply it to your business so that you can grow.
Yes, and,
Yeah.
we've done these workshops with a variety of businesses, and we realized, and why we came down here to Real Producers and wanting to work with real estate agents and the real estate community, is because that was the primary people who were showing
Our room
up.
was packed with real estate agents, and I was like, gosh,
So we've tailored the course even further just for the real estate world, where we've come up with content ideas specifically for your niche, and it's not just generic business advice.
Right. Yeah. And there's so many different businesses, but this isn't for the hairstylists or the musicians or the whatever, right? Which, those are different courses, I guess, that you guys maybe do, but this one's specifically around real estate.
yeah,
So
the
everything
real
is gonna be
estate
super-
world.
Yeah.
I think it could also apply to lenders too.
Definitely.
Yeah, like anyone that's in that realm,
Mm-hmm.
this can help you.
Right. So anyone that's dealing with real estate on pretty much a daily basis. So, all right, where is it? Right, it's here at VentureX. So actually in the podcast studio at VentureX, and then it's actually just around the corner in the training room. So it's in the training room is stadium seating. So it's very interactive. It has 2 big, and when I say stadium seating, that sounds like it's big. Like it's little shelves and stuff like that. So it's extremely interactive. There's 2 big screens that they're going to be displaying everything. Pretty much you show up, right? And you're ready to learn, right?
Yep.
Yep.
True.
Yeah, all you have to do is show up. I mean,
You show up, and we make it fun. I mean, our last class was really fun. There was a lot of laughs.
and
There was
we will send a little pre-survey, quick 5 questions of just
Like,
to
we wanna
level
know you.
set expectations, want to know your business. We want to look at we're going to look at your social profiles
Yeah.
before you walk in the door.
We're gonna
We wanna
check you
know-
out.
Yeah, we definitely want to know like who's in the room and where you're at in your business, so we can, give that one-on-one attention to you.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what's the date?
March 23rd.
Yes,
Thursday, March 23rd,
Okay. What time?
10 to 2.
10 to 2. Lunch?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lunch.
So lunch provided, 10 to 2.
We get a little break in the lunch. I know
Yeah.
4 hours might seem
Mm-hmm.
like a lot of time, but it's because we're working with you. You're not having to sit through a presentation.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
I-
not going to be boring.
It's
No.
strategized. Like you get to create your social media content strategy. Like you're going to especially if you know you need to do it,
Mm-hmm.
but you haven't actually done it.
4 hours to
Reserve these
invest in
4
yourself
hours.
is nothing.
Right.
Right. Like that is absolutely nothing.
Yeah. To have a coach walk you through how to create your strategy.
Mm-hmm.
And I can guarantee you're going to want more.
Right. Exactly. And that's the thing. And little teaser, we're probably going to be doing these in the future as long as the first one goes stunningly, right? And
Yeah.
which it will. And we're excited. So 10 o'clock is the show time on the 23rd, which is a Thursday. So it's March 23rd, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Lunch is provided. There's going to be some side benefits to it, right? First of all, you're going to be in the room with other professionals, right? If you've understood what Real Producers does, we're about bringing the community together, like-minded individuals, building relationships with one another, strategizing with one another, right? There's so much business to go around. So you're also going to be in the room with the other top producing agents, right? And you're going to be strategizing, you're going to be working together. So you're probably going to build some amazing relationships. But you guys are going to be learning a ton about social media, okay? So let's talk about, so there'll be a dedicated link here on this podcast that you can click on and you can reserve. It is only 30 spots, right?
Yep, first come, first serve. So
It's first come, first serve. And it's not only to the top agents, it's to any it's to any realtor in the area that wants to produce more, that wants to grow, and benefit more. Okay. So you guys are running a deal, right? We're collaborating. So tell us a little bit about the price point.
So usually it would be around $1,000, but since we are collaborating with you,
And they're bringing it down here, right?
yeah, we're bringing
it's-
it to Naples.
like this was a Nashville
Full thing.
course.
Yeah.
You know, Nashville workshop. And now we're
Yeah.
Like, you know,
connected here.
we got to bring it here. Yeah.
Yes.
So we are going to do it for $500.
Yep. So
You got
top
the driver's
500,
phone.
500 works out,
Yeah.
right? No.
Yep.
We're going
But it's
to-
not for the
go.
top 500 only.
It's
for
not.
anyone.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so they're doing a 50% off deal for anyone that wants to be in that first workshop here in Naples. So it's obviously a great value add that they want to provide and they want to do for anyone that wants to grow and better themselves down here. So that's awesome. So I think on the website it was like $4.99, right?
Yeah.
So that's awesome. So in the grand scheme of things, very cheap, right? If you hire one-on-one coaching or different things like that, consulting, I know the cost. I've done it before. It's extremely expensive.
It's very expensive.
You usually have to do, 6 months at least type of
Yes.
contract,
Big contracts.
monthly,
Exactly.
monthly fees, and you're getting that.
But yeah,
one-on-one
and we're big
coaching
on
in
that
one
too.
session.
We want you to get your money's worth, and we know that we're bringing that to the table. But we also want people to be able to afford.
Mm-hmm.
We want to be
Yeah.
able to afford it.
Yeah.
So good price point.
It's perfect. So 30 spots, first come, first serve, 10 o'clock on March 23rd. And yeah, we're pumped. I'm excited.
Yeah, I know. I'm
So-
so excited.
Social media workshop, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on March 23rd. It's discounted 50%. So it's $4.99 per chair. And there's 30 seats, right, ladies?
Yep.
Yes.
Awesome. So register with the link that's on the podcast. And then we'll see you all there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
email us if you have any questions.
All right.
Thank
Can't
you.
wait.
Thank
See ya.
you.
Thanks for coming on.